whatever it takes. I know I can make it through. A Degrassi podcast with Kelsey and Holland too. I know I can make it through.
Hi, and welcome to Whatever It Takes, a podcast about Degrassi the Next Generation. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Holland, and today we're talking about Season 9, Episode 17, Innocent When You Dream. And Kelsey, will you please read us the Degrassi Wiki summary?
God, yes. Claire's having sexy vampire dreams about Declan and channels them into steamy fan fiction, which she lets carry over into her real life.
I mean, a little bit.
Kind of.
At the end of it.
Sure. While the other members in the band are busy with finals, Sav begins to feel lonely and reconsiders his breakup with Anya.
Note, first appearance of Wesley Bettenkamp, which we will get to him.
Sure.
Yeah, sure, whatever. I think it's pretty accurate. But the episode is called Innocent When You Dream, which I believe is a 1987 song by Tom Waits. I don't know what the song is about, but the title sounds like a vampire fan fiction, so I think it just automatically works.
It does. Oh, man. I haven't read a fan fiction in a real long time.
Nope. All right, let's just... Speaking of fan fictions, the episode starts... We're in, like, a forest set. Like, bells are chiming in the music that's playing. Claire and Declan are walking amongst the trees. Claire has, like, green, like, weird, supernaturally green eyes. And I guess she's a vampire in this scenario.
I thought Declan was the vampire because I wrote Declan makes for a sexy vampire. And then I immediately felt slightly uncomfortable.
I think she's the vampire because she has, like, those weird contacts in her eyes at the end before it's like, oh, she wakes up or whatever. And then I think later she's like, what if the girl was the vampire? And then she, like, writes her fan fiction.
Yeah. But yeah, so she has a sexy vampire dream about Declan.
Yeah. And then the theme song plays. And then we learned that she was up until 3 a.m. reading the Fortnite novels? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, Fortnite, which is, obviously just fake Twilight.
Yeah. And, which also, it's like, Fortnite means 2 weeks. It's not totally the same. Okay, whatever, sure.
It's fine.
And then Allie's like, oh my God, they're amazing, right? Like Team Edmund or something like that.
Well, no, yeah.
She doesn't say Team Edmund, but I wrote down Edmund.
I also wrote down Edmund. No, it's because she was like, doesn't Declan remind you of Edmund? And I was like, oh right. God, this is happening.
And then... Allie is like, oh, they're so sexy, or something like that. And then Claire's like, get your mind out of the gutter. I read the Fortnite novels for the plot.
Which is hilarious, because if you've ever read Twilight, you know that can't be real.
Not real at all. And then Declan...
There's this really good fan fiction. Not fan fiction. Wow, this is where my brain is now. Also, we're drinking wine. Because we are pre-gaming for Halloween. Anyway... there was this really good Tumblr for a while that was just like analyzing like Twilight, like from like a it was like a copy editor's perspective or like an actual writer's perspective, and it was hilarious. It was so
I think
funny.
I remember that.
It was really funny.
It's like the Twilight novels are garbage.
Yeah, basically.
Don't get me wrong. I read them as a youth. I've been to a midnight premiere of a Twilight movie before, mostly because there was nothing else to do in my town in high school, but. No, they're garbage books.
Terrible.
They're horrible.
Terrible nightmare books. They're the worst.
But yeah, so then we're like at the like play practice or whatever it's called, I don't know. And Claire's like the prop master, and Declan calls her prop master Claire, and Shantae's late, so Declan is like, Claire, why don't you fill in and read lines with Peter? And she's like, what? I don't do that. And he's like, come on. I was like, this wouldn't happen, but okay. And also Peter is in this play? I had no idea. I don't remember that.
I don't either. And also apparently there's an alien in this play, and Claire nearly faints because like Declan kisses her on the cheek as like a thank you.
Well, first they're rehearsing and Peter just like goes in swinging and like is about to kiss Claire, and Declan and I had the same reaction, which was like like flinching and being like, what? No, don't do that to her.
It's like, please calm down.
No. And
But
then,
that's such a Peter move.
but then Declan is like, you pretend to kiss her on the cheek. And then he just smushes his face up against Claire's face, which is even more awkward, I think, than just kissing her on the cheek.
She literally almost faints.
And
She
then
collapses
that's when
to the ground.
She gets weak in the knees, literally. And she's like, sorry, I skipped breakfast. And it's really embarrassing.
I was embarrassed for her this entire episode for just so many reasons.
Oh
my god. But also, there's an alien in this play.
Okay. Later on, there's like a transition scene of the like marquee thing in front of the school. And it says, buy tickets to Space Awakening, which is apparently the name of this play.
Oh.
I hope we get to see it because it sounds... So not only is it like a musical with music sourced from like high school bands, but it's also set in space, but also might be derivative of Spring Awakening. I need to see what this is.
Hilarious. I have 2 notes. 1, every time when they mentioned the space thing, it just reminded me of, do you remember in Friends when Joey was in that play that seemed like a really good, like earnest, like intense drama, and then at the end he gets picked up by a spaceship?
I'm gonna get back on this spaceship.
Yeah, that's what this reminded me of. And also I was thinking about it and I was like, if my high school, they like locally sourced all of like the like local teen musicians, it would just be like
garbage.
It would be an hour of like screamo and white guys rapping. Like that would be it. That was all the music we had at my school. We had screamo bands and white guys who rapped.
Well,
we had more than one white guy who rapped at my high school.
That's horrendous.
They were all bad and had dumb names.
I feel like Degrassi has a different kind of vibe going, but I feel like it's just going to be various versions of Stoods / Janie and the Studs featuring Peter Stone. They're horrendously long, weird name.
So long.
Now.
But you know, I weirdly like it more. I like Janie and the Studs featuring Peter Stone more than I like Janie and the Studs.
It's all bad.
It's all bad. Stoots wasn't good either.
No, it's gonna be like Stoods and California bands. Hey, California. No, it's gonna be bad. I want to see it. But yeah,
I'm ready.
she
I'm
like
so excited.
falls to the floor and is like, breakfast, didn't eat it, sorry. And then we're in class with Anya and Leia, and I'm like, oh, Leia's still here.
Leia's still here and still has 0 chill.
And they're talking about LARPing, and Sav and Anya are awkward now because they broke up.
And I don't remember why I wrote down that Leia has no chill, but she said something like some sort of like, she's so much better now that you broke up, bye, like thing that I was like, you're like a very sweet best friend, but also you don't know how to be a person. But Sav is like, so how are you doing? Which is like such a shitty thing to ask the person you broke up with like last week.
And Anya's like, oh, you know, like she says like a couple things, then she's like LARPing like 24/7.
Which is hilarious. But I just wrote, Anya's super busy with like 4 exclamation points, because that's totally what you do when you like run into an ex and they're like, so what are you even up to? It's just like, oh my God, I'm just so fucking busy. Like I've got so much going on.
Yeah.
That's what you do, man.
But then we're with Claire and Allie, and Claire.
Oh wait, can we get into fashion really fast?
Claire's wearing this like yellow, flowy, like short sleeved shirt thing, which was interesting.
It's a choice. Sav in the scene we just mentioned, he's wearing like some sort of button-up plaid shirt, but he's just like, he hasn't buttoned quite enough buttons. Like there's way too much chest for a high school student.
I don't recall. In the next scene, Jane is wearing like a black polo, but with just like a purple plaid at the top. It was a very weird look from the time period that confuses me.
Sounds about right. Also, speaking of Jane, in the same scene, she has her hair down and it's like natural and kind of curly, and I like it.
Yeah. Allie's wearing like a ruffly dress with a huge sparkle belt at some point.
Sav's wearing this like geometric shape shirt that I kind of enjoyed. Well, it was also like very much like a shirt that a guy would wear now. Like it felt like it was like kind of ahead of its time.
Oh my God. At one point, Claire's wearing the ugliest striped shirt with like a blue long sleeve shirt under it. It was not a good look.
I don't remember that, but it sounds like Claire. They are wearing prison jumpsuits.
Yep, orange jumpsuits.
Jesus Christ.
Except for Spinner, who gets to live out his like failed dream as a cop in the music video.
We're gonna fucking talk about that later. I've got opinions.
The only other note I have is Declan is at the end is wearing a white polo with just like a stripe of yellow argyle on down one side, which was weird.
My last note is Holly J's outfit at the end makes her look like an entire garden.
I don't even remember it.
And she was wearing like a very floral, like specific shirt and a green skirt, and I was like, you're just a garden today. It's a good choice.
But we're with Claire and Allie in class, and I don't remember how they get to this, but Claire just starts writing fan fiction. She's just doing it now, and that's when she's like, what if the girl was the vampire? And then Allie is like,
outside of the box.
You should post it online. Like, it's so... Or maybe she was like, she wrote it, and then Allie read it and was like, you should post it online.
This is better than anything that's on whatever their, like, fake version of fanfiction.net was.
And then she's like, what should my name be? And they land on Madame Degrassi.
Okay, here's the thing. First of all, why don't you change his fucking name?
I know!
I was like, seriously? You're gonna just keep his name as Declan? He's literally the only Declan any of you have ever met. Has anyone else met a person named Declan? I, like, know of one other human being named Declan.
Me too, and it's someone who I work with, and it's his son.
Yeah.
It's like 9.
We're both aware of the same exact Declan. The only
I've
Declan.
ever heard of, / I haven't even met him, but I've seen him in person.
And also, my friend Fiona's mom almost named her little brother Declan. And I remember, and Fiona and I were watching, like, we're deep in our Degrassi watching at the time. Because her brother Colin is, like, 11 years younger than us. So we were deep in our Degrassi watching. Or maybe he's, like, 15 years younger than us. Holy shit. I keep forgetting how old Colin is.
Nobody's name is Declan.
I don't know. But she almost named him Declan. And I was like, and it was at the beginning of Declan's time. And I was like, oh, Declan's the mean guy from Degrassi. She should not name your brother Declan. I don't think that was why she named him Colin. But,
oh my gosh.
you know. But yeah, change the name. And, like, Madame Degrassi, why are you trying to make yourself, like, geolocatable?
Yeah. Yeah, pick a more conspicuous name. Like, come on, Claire.
You might as well have called yourself, like, Claire Bear. Like, get it together.
She should have called herself, like, Clarice.
My God.
Anyway, but before we find out that she uses his name, we are hearing the gross sanitized version of house arrest, which I do not care for. And
I hate it.
The band is like, or Sav is like, we should enter into this viral video contest thing. I'm like, that's not how viral works, but okay.
Yeah, it's not how that works at all.
But everyone's also, like, so we're too busy to film a video. And he's like, well, but I need to stay busy because I just broke up with Anya.
Like, Sav, you are the same age as these people. Don't you also have fucking finals?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Why don't you go study for your finals, man? Go study for your finals. Don't focus on the girl you dumped. Like, get it together.
And then he calls her and then, like, hangs up. I'm like, why are you calling her? That's stupid.
Don't call her. Jesus.
But then I think it's the next day, and then it's like,
and we learn that
used his fucking name.
She used his name like a goddamn amateur.
And then Holly J, like, reads the fanfic.
Wait, did you have, like, a Zanga or a live journal?
I had a Zanga, but I didn't use it.
I had a Zanga, and I wrote my Zanga, like, in my Zanga all the time. And, like, I posted about, like, boys that I liked and, like, that sort of thing. But, like, they had, like, nicknames that I did not reveal.
You don't put that shit online. You don't put the real stuff online.
I think I, like, eventually revealed it, and then I was like, oh, that was a mistake. But but for, like, the longest time, I was like, no, this is, like, their fake nickname. Like, who puts the real fucking name?
No.
What are you doing?
Whatever.
Dummy.
But then it's like, and then I think we're at, like, play practice, and I think Claire's like, she's like, oh, it must be a coincidence that the guy's name is Declan, right? And he's like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. Holly J, or she's like, did you read it? And he's like, no, Holly J just told me all about it. And I was like, lol, Holly J reads vampire fanfiction.
Yeah. Also, he said HJ, which I love that he calls her HJ because it just, like, brings me, like, adorable. A weird amount of joy.
But then he's like, but I think then he's like, oh, but this Madame person can really write well. And Claire's like, ooh. And then he walks away, and then she steals his sweater. Yeah. And puts it in her bag like a creep. Oh, my God.
Like a giant creep. I spent this entire episode being so, like, secondhand embarrassed for Claire's behavior.
I was like, what are you doing? No. Yeah, but then...
Meanwhile, Sav is being a great big fucking whiny baby.
Yeah, somebody says you're totally stalking your ex, but I don't remember what was happening.
Yeah, I don't know. He was like hanging